Numbers 13, Shalach. Um, you send forth. So, okay. And Adonai spoke to Moshe, saying, send for yourself men and have them scout the land of Canaan, of Canaan, which I am giving to Beni Israel. One man each for his father's tribe you shall send them, each leader among them. Moshe sent them from the desert of Paran by the word of Adonai. All of them were men of distinction. They were the heads of Beni Israel. These are their names. For the tribe of Reuben, Shemua, the son of Zachor. For the tribe of Shimon, Shaphat, the son of Chori. For the tribe of Yehuda, Caleb, the son of Yefuneh. For the tribe of Yisachar, Yigal, the son of Yosef. For the tribe of Ephraim, Hoshea, the son of Nun. For the tribe of Benjamin, Palti, the son of Raphu. For the tribe of Zebulun, Gadiel, the son of Sodi. For the tribe of Yosef, for the tribe of Manasseh, Gadi, the son of Susi. For the tribe of Dan, Amiel, the son of Gamali. For the tribe of Asher, Sesor, the son of Michael. For the tribe of Naphtali, Nechbi, the son of Vophsi. For the tribe of Gad, Guel, the son of Machi. These are the names of the men whom Moshe sent to scout the land. And Moshe called Hoshea, the son of Nun, Yehoshua. Yehoshua. Yehoshua ben Nun. I'd love to get into the significance of Nun here, but that's for another time. Hoshea, son of Nun, Yehoshua. Moses sent them to scout the land of Canaan, and said to them, go up this way to the south, and go up to the mountain. See what the land is, and the people living in it. Or are they strong or weak, if there are few or many? And how is the land in which they live? Is it good or is it bad? And how are the cities in which they reside? Are they open or are they fortified? How is the land, soil? Is it fat, rich, or lean, poor? Does it have trees or not? You shall strengthen yourselves, and you shall take some fruit from the land. Those days were the days of the first ripening of the grapes. They went up, and they scouted the land from the desert of Sin until Rehob, at the entrance of Hamas. They went up into the southern part of the land, and he came to Hebron, and there was Ahiman, Sheshai, and Talmai, the offspring of the giant. The city of Hebron was built 7 years before the city of Zoan in Egypt. They came into the valley of Eshcol, and from there they cut off a branch and one cluster of grapes, and they carried it between two poles. And they took some pomegranates and some figs. That place they called the valley of Eshcol, because of the event of the cluster that Beni Israel cut from there. They returned from spying the land at the end of 40 days. They went and came to Moshe and to Aaron and to the entire congregation of Beni Israel that came to the desert of Paran and Kadesh. They brought word back to them and to the entire congregation, and they showed them the fruit of the land. They recounted to him, and they said, we came into the land into which you sent us, and it indeed flows with milk and honey, and this is its fruit. However, the nation is mighty, and those who inhabit the land and the cities are greatly fortified to the utmost. And we also saw the offspring of the giant over there. Amalek dwells in the southern part of the land, but the Hitti, Yavusi, and Emori dwell in the mountain, and the Canaani dwell by the sea and next to the Yarden. Caleb silenced the people to hear about Moshe, and he said, we can surely go up to the land, and we shall possess it, for we are surely able to overcome it. But the men who went up with him said, we are not able to go up against the nation, for they are more powerful than we. They spread slander about the land that they had scouted to Beni Israel, saying, the land through which we have passed to scout it is a land which consumes its inhabitants, and every one of the people we saw in it are men of dimensions. There we saw the giants, the sons of the giants of the Nephilim, and we were like grasshoppers in our eyes. And so we appeared in their eyes. Chapter 14. The entire community arose and raised their voices, and the people wept that night. They railed against Moshe and Aaron and all of Bani Israel, and the entire congregation said to them, "Would we have died in the land of Egypt or in this desert? Would that we have died. Why does Adonai bring us into this land to fall by the sword? Our wives and infants would be as spoils. Is it not better for us to return to Egypt?" They said to each other, "Let us appoint a head, and we will return to Egypt." Moshe and Aaron fell on their faces before the entire gathering of the congregation of Bani Israel. Yeshua, the son of Nun, and Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, who were among those who scouted the land, tore their clothing in grief. They said to the entire congregation of Bani Israel, saying, "The land through which we have passed to scout it, that land is very, very good. If Adonai desires us, he will bring us into that land and give it to us, a land which flows with milk and honey. However, do not rebel against Adonai, and do not be afraid of the nation of the land. For they are as our bread, their protection is removed from them, and Adonai is with us. Do not be afraid of them." The entire congregation said that they should be stoned to death when the glory of Adonai appeared in the tent of meeting to all of the Bani Israel. Adonai said to Moshe, "Until where will this people provoke me? And how much longer will they have no faith in me, despite all the signs which I have done in their midst? I shall smite them with the plague and annihilate them. I shall make you into a greater and stronger people than they." Moshe said to Adonai, "But Egypt will hear that you, in your might, have brought up this people from among them. They will say concerning the inhabitants of this land, 'They have heard that you, Adonai, are among this people, who appears to them eye to eye, face to face. You, Adonai, your cloud stands over them in a pillar of cloud. You go before them daily, and in a pillar of fire nightly. If you kill this nation like a single man, the nations will say, they who have heard of your reputation, as follows: It is because of Adonai's inability to bring the people into the land that he swore to them, that he slaughtered them in the desert. Now please let my master's power be enhanced as you spoke, saying, Adonai, slow to anger and abounding in kindness, forgive iniquity and transgression, who does not completely acquit, who will visit the iniquities of the fathers upon their children to the third generation and to the fourth generation. Please forgive this people according to the magnitude of your kindness, and as you have borne this people since Egypt until this time." Adonai said, "I have forgiven them just as you spoke. However, just as I live, and the glory of Adonai fills this entire land, for all the people who see my glory and my signs which I have done in Egypt and in the desert, and they have tested me these 10 times, and they have not listened to my voice, if they will see the land that I have sworn to their fathers, all those who angered me will not see it. My servant Caleb, because he possessed in him a different spirit and followed me fully, I shall bring him into the land to which he came, and his children will cast its inhabitants from it. The Amaleki and the Canaanite are now dwelling in the valley. Tomorrow turn back, and you shall travel the desert by way of the Reed Sea." Adonai spoke to Moshe and to Aaron, saying, "Until when will this wicked congregation exist, those who provoke me? The complaints of Bani Israel, when they complain against me, I have heard. Say to them, as I live, says Adonai, if I do not do to you as you have spoken in my ears, so I shall do to you. In this desert your corpses shall fall, all of you who were counted according to your numbers from 20 years and above, because you have complained against me. Surely you shall not come into the land which I raised my hand to swear that I would cause you to live in it, except for Caleb the son of Jephunneh and Yahushua the son of Nun. Your infants, about whom you said, they will be as spoils, I shall bring them there, and they will know the land which you despised. Your corpses, yours, shall fall in this desert. Your children, they shall be wanderers in the desert for 40 years, and they will bear the burden of your dissoluteness until the last of your corpses are in the desert. According to the number of days which you scouted the land, 40 days, a day for a year, you will bear the burden of your iniquity 40 years, and you will know my displeasure. I am Adonai, I have spoken. If I do not do this to the entire evil congregation that are gathered against me in this desert, they shall be finished, and there they shall die. Those men whom Moshe was sent to scout the land, who returned and provoked the complaints of the entire congregation against him by spreading slander about the land. Those men died who spread evil slander against the land in a plague before Adonai. Yehoshua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Jephunneh lived from among those men who were who went to scout the land. Moshe spoke these words to all of Beni Israel, and all the people mourned greatly. They awoke early in the morning and went up to the peak of the mountain, saying, "We are ready to go up to the place of which Adonai spoke, for we have sinned." Moshe said, "Why are you now transgressing the word of Adonai? It will not succeed. Do not go up, for Adonai is not among you, and do not die before your enemies. For the Amaleki and the Canaanite are there before you, and you will fall by the sword, for you turned from following Adonai, and Adonai will not be with you." They defiantly went up the mountain peak, but the ark of the covenant of Adonai and Moshe did not move from amidst the encampment. The Amaleki and the Canaanite swooped down, they who were dwelling in that mountain, and they smote and crushed them until Hormah. Chapter 15. Adonai spoke to Moshe, saying, "Speak to Beni Israel and say to them, when you arrive into the land in which you will dwell, which I am giving you, when you make a fire offering to Adonai, a burnt offering or a sacrifice, by verbalizing as a pledge or as a designation, or on your festivals to provide a pleasing fragrance to Adonai from cattle or from sheep, the one bringing his offering to Adonai shall present the 1/10 of flour mixed with 1/4 of a hin of oil, along with wine for a wine offering, 1/4 of a hin. You shall do for a burnt offering, or a sacrifice for the one sheep. If for a ram, you shall make a meal offering of 2/10 mixed with 1/3 a hin of oil. Wine for a wine offering shall be 1/3 of a hin. This is how you shall offer a pleasing fragrance to Adonai. If you are making a calf as a burnt offering or sacrifice by verbalizing as a pledge, or for a peace offering to Adonai, along with the calf you shall bring a meal offering of 3/10 mixed with 1/2 of a hin of oil. You shall bring wine for a wine offering, 1/2 a hin, a fire offering, a pleasing fragrance to Adonai. So you shall do for each ox or ram, or for the sheep or goats, according to the number which you offer, so shall you make for each one according to their number. Each citizen shall do this as stated, to bring a fire offering of pleasing fragrance to Adonai. If a proselyte will live with you or among you for all of your generations, and make a fire offering of pleasing fragrance to Adonai in the same fashion as you make it, so shall he make it. The assembly has one statute for yourselves, and for the proselyte who resides. One statute for all your generations, just as it is for yourselves, so shall it be for the proselyte before Adonai. One law and one rule will apply to you, and to the proselyte who lives with you. Adonai spoke to Moshe, saying, "Speak to Beni Israel and say to them at your coming to the land in which I am bringing you, when you eat from the bread of the land, you shall separate a teruma for Adonai. From the first portion of your doughs, you shall separate a loaf as a separated portion, like the teruma gift of the granary, so shall you separate it. Of the first portion of your doughs, you shall give to Adonai as a teruma offering throughout your generations. If you should err and not fulfill all these commandments which Adonai said to Moshe, all that Adonai commanded you through Moshe from the day on which Adonai commanded, and from then on throughout your generations, it was obscured from the eyes of the congregation, having been done in error. Then the entire congregation shall offer one young bullock as a burnt offering, for a pleasing fragrance to Adonai. Its meal offering and its wine offering are according to its law, and one he-goat as a sin offering. The Kohen shall atone on behalf of the entire congregation of Beni Israel, and they shall be forgiven, for they have erred unwittingly, and they have brought their offering as a fire offering to Adonai, and their sin offering before Adonai to atone for their error. And it shall be forgiven to the entire congregation of Beni Israel and the stranger amongst them, for the entire people sinned unintentionally. If one person will sin erroneously, that person shall bring a yearling she-goat as a sin offering. The Kohen shall atone for that erring soul which has sinned unwittingly before Adonai, to achieve atonement for him, and he will be forgiven. For the citizen among Beni Israel and the proselyte who dwells among them, there shall be one law for you all, for he who sins unwittingly. A person who commits a sin high-handedly among the citizens, among the proselytes, blasphemes Adonai. The soul of that person shall be cut off from among his people. For he has denigrated the word of Adonai, and he has violated his commandment. The soul of that person shall certainly be cut off. Its iniquity is upon it. But Beni Israel were in the desert, and they found a man gathering wood on the day of Shabbos. Those who found him brought him near, he who was gathering wood, to Moshe and Aaron and to the entire congregation. They placed him under guard, since it was not specified what was to be done to him. Adonai said to Moshe, "That man shall be put to death. The entire congregation shall stone him beyond the encampment." The entire congregation brought him outside beyond the encampment, and they stoned him with stones. And he died, just as Adonai commanded Moshe. And Adonai spoke to Moshe, saying, "Speak to Beni Israel, and tell them to make for themselves tzitzis, fringes, on the corner of their garments throughout their generations. And they will place the fringes of each corner a thread of blue. And it will be to you for fringes, and you will look upon it, and you will remember all of Adonai's commandments, and you will perform them. And you will not search after the desire of your hearts and after your eyes, which cause you to go astray, in order that you will remember and perform all my commandments, and you will be holy unto your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, to be your God. I am Adonai your God." (16) Korach. Karun. Korach took the son of Yitzhar, the son of Kehos, the son of Levi, and Desan, and Aviram, the son of Eliab, and On, the son of Peles, son of Reuben. They rose up before Moshe with men from Beni Israel, numbering 250, who were the leaders of the congregation. Those were called to meetings of prominent name. They gathered against Moshe and Aaron, and they said to them, "You have taken too much for yourselves, and since the entire congregation are all holy, and Adonai is in their midst, why do you raise yourselves above the assembly of Adonai?" Moshe heard, and he fell upon his face. He spoke to Korach and his entire congregation, saying, "In the morning Adonai will make known who is his, and who is holy. He will bring close to him, and whoever he chooses he will bring near to him. Do this, take for yourselves fire pans, Korach and his entire congregation, and place in them and put incense upon them before Adonai tomorrow. And it will be that the man who will be chosen by Adonai, he is the Holy One. You have taken too much upon yourselves, sons of Levi." Moshe said to Korach, "Please listen, sons of Levi. Is it but a pittance for yourselves that the God of Israel has separated you from the rest of the congregation of Israel, to bring you closer to him, to perform the services of the Mishkan of Adonai, and to stand before the congregation to serve them? He brought you near with all of your brethren, the sons of Levi, with you, and yet you ask to be Kohanim as well? Therefore you and your entire congregation who are gathered against Adonai, and what is Aaron that you rail against him?" Moshe sent to call for Desan and Aviram, the sons of Eliab, and they said, "We will not go up. Is it but a pittance that you have brought us up from a land flowing with milk and honey to kill us in the desert, that you must exercise power over us to make yourself powerful as well? Even into a land flowing with milk and honey you have not brought us, and not given us an inheritance of fields and vineyards. If you put those people's eyes out, even then we would not go up." Moshe was extremely distressed, and said to Adonai, "Do not turn to their offering. Not a donkey did I sequester from any one of them, nor have I done ill to any of them." Moshe said to Korach, "You and your entire congregation will be before Adonai, you and they and Aaron tomorrow. Each man will take his fire pan and place incense upon them, and you will offer before Adonai, each man his fire pan, 250 fire pans, and you and Aaron will each take his own fire pan." Each man took his own fire pan and placed fire in them, and they put incense in them, and they stood at the entrance of the tent of meeting along with Moshe and Aaron. Korach congregated against them. The entire congregation of the entrance of the tent of meeting, and the glory of Adonai appeared to the entire congregation. Adonai spoke to Moshe and to Aaron, saying, "Separate yourselves from among this congregation, and I will annihilate them in an instant. They fell upon their faces and said, Almighty, the God of spirits of all flesh, if one man sins, shall you be angry with the entire congregation? Adonai spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the congregation, saying, Depart from the vicinity of the dwelling of Korach, Dathan and Abiram. Moshe rose up and went to Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel went along after him. He spoke to the congregation, saying, Please get away from the tents of these evil men, and do not touch anything belonging to them, lest you be swept away in all their transgressions. They withdrew from the dwellings of Korach, Dathan and Abiram, and all around. And Dathan and Abiram went out and stood at the door of their tents with their wives, children, and infants. Moshe said, This is how you will know that Adonai has sent me to perform all the deeds, for I did not devise them by myself. If as all men die, will these men meet their deaths, and the reckoning of all men will be reckoned upon them, then Adonai has not sent me. If Adonai will create a new creation, and the ground will open its mouth and swallow them, along with all of their belongings, and they will go down alive to the grave, then you will know that these men have angered Adonai. As he was finishing speaking all these words, the ground beneath them split. The earth opened its mouth and swallowed them and their houses, and all the people belonging to Korach and all of his possessions. They and all belongings to them went down alive to the grave, and the earth covered them, and they perished from among the assembly. All of Israel who were around them fled from the uproar, for they said, Perhaps the earth will swallow us. A fire came forth from Adonai, and he consumed the 250 men who were bringing the incense. Chapter 17. Adonai spoke to Moshe, saying, Say to Eleazar the son of Aharon the Kohen, and have him lift up the fire pans from the inferno, and you scatter the fire yonder, for they were sanctified. These fire pans of these sinners who paid with their souls, and make them into hammered sheets to overlay the altar, for they were brought an offering before Adonai, and they were sanctified, and they shall be a sign for Beni Israel. Eleazar the Kohen took the copper fire pans, those that the fire victims brought, and hammered them into a covering for the altar, to be a reminder for Beni Israel, so that a commoner shall never offer one who is not a descendant of Aharon to burn incense before Adonai, so as not to be like Korach and his congregation, as Adonai spoke to him through Moshe. They complained, the entire congregation of Beni Israel, on the next day against Moshe and Aharon, saying, You have killed the people of Adonai. When the congregation assembled against Moshe and Aharon, they turned to the tent of meeting, and behold, the cloud covered it, and the glory of Adonai appeared. Moshe and Aharon came to the front of the tent of meeting. Adonai spoke to Moshe, saying, Remove yourself from this congregation, and I shall annihilate them in an instant. And they fell upon their faces. And Moshe said to Aharon, Take the fire pan and put fire from atop the altar on it, and place incense on it, and go quickly to the congregation and atone for them. For anger has come forth from before Adonai, the plague has commenced. Aharon took just as Moshe spoke, and he ran to the middle of the assembly. And behold, the plague had commenced among the people. He put the incense, and he atoned for the people. He stood between the dead and between the living, and the plague was halted. The dead in the plague totaled 14,700, excluding those who died due to Korach's rebellion. Aharon returned to Moshe to the entrance at the tent of meeting, and the plague was halted. Adonai spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to Beni Israel, and take from among them a staff for each father's tribal house, from all the leaders according to their father's houses, 12 staffs, and you shall write each man's name on his staff. You shall write the name of Aharon on the staff of Levi, for there is one staff for the head of their father's house. You shall leave them inside the tent of meeting before the testimony where there I met you. It shall be that the man whom I choose, his staff shall blossom, and I will abate from myself the complaints of Beni Israel that they complain against you. Moshe spoke to Beni Israel, and all the leaders gave to him a staff for each leader, according to their father's house, 12 staffs, and the staffs of Aharon was among their staff. Moshe placed the staffs before Adonai in the tent of the testimony. It was on the next day, Moshe came inside the tent of testimony, and behold, The staff of Aharon blossomed. For the house of Levi, a blossom came forth, and bloomed buds, and bore ripe almonds. Moshe then brought out all the staffs from before Adonai to all Bani Israel, and each man saw and retrieved his staff. Adonai said to Moshe, Return the staff of Aharon before the ark of testimony to be preserved as a symbol to the rebellious people, so that their complaint will end and they will not die. Moshe did this as Adonai commanded, so he did. Bani Israel said the following to Moshe, Behold, we perish, we are lost, we are all lost. Anyone approaching who comes close to the Mishkan of Adonai will die. We have been consigned to die. Chapter 18. Adonai said to Aharon, You, your sons, and your father's house with you will bear the sin of the sanctuary, and you and your sons with you will bear the sin of your kahuna. Also your brothers, the tribe of Levi, the tribe of your father, bring to you, and they shall join you, and serve you, and your sons with you before the tent of testimony. They shall guard their duties to you and all the duties of the tent, but to the holy furniture or to the altar they must not approach, that neither they nor you shall die. They shall join you and guard the duties of the tent of meeting, all the service of the tent, but a commoner, a non-Kohen, should not approach you. You shall discharge the sacred duties and the duties of the altar, so that there will be no more wrath on Bani Israel. Behold, I have brought your brothers, the Levites, from among the Bani Israel, given to you as a gift for Adonai, to perform the work of the tent of meeting. You and your sons with you shall guard your kahuna, your duties, regarding the altar, and all that is within the curtain. You shall serve the service as a gift. I give the kahuna to you, and to the commoner who approaches shall be killed. Adonai spoke to Aharon, Behold, I have given you the guarding of my teruma gifts, and all of the hallowed things of Bani Israel to you and your children. I give them for consecration as a portion forever. This is yours from the most holy, from the fire of all their sacrifices, their mincha offerings, their sin offerings, and their guilt offerings, which they return to me, shall be most holy to you and to your sons. You shall eat it in the supremely holy place. Every male may eat it. It shall be holy to you. Their teruma gift is yours. All of the wave offerings of Bani Israel I give to you and to your sons and daughters that are with you as an everlasting portion. All those ritually pure in your house may eat it. The best of the oil and the best of the wine and grain, their teruma gift that they present to Adonai, I have given to you. The first fruits of all that is in their land, which they bring before Adonai, shall be yours. All those ritually pure in your house may eat it. Everything consecrated in Israel shall be yours. Every firstling of every being which they offer before Adonai, man or beast, shall be yours. But you must redeem the firstborn of man and redeem the firstborn of unclean beasts. Its redemption, for a month old you should redeem them. The valuation is 5 silver selaim of holy silver shekelim, which is 20 gerah. However, a firstborn ox, a firstborn sheep, a firstborn goat, do not redeem, because they are holy. They are holy. Sprinkle their blood on the altar, and burn their fats as a fire offering, as a pleasing fragrance to Adonai. Their flesh is yours, like the beast, like the breast which is waved, and like the right thigh, it shall be yours. All of the sacred teruma gifts that the Bani Israel offer to Adonai, I have given to you, your sons and daughters, with you as an everlasting portion, an eternal covenant of salt before Adonai, to you and your children that are with you. Adonai said to Aharon, You will have no inheritance in their land, and you will not have a share among them. I am your inheritance and portion among Bani Israel. Behold, I have given to the sons of Levi all the tithes in Israel for an inheritance in return for their service, which they perform, the service of the tent of meeting. Bani Israel shall no longer approach the tent of meeting to become guilty and die. The Levites, they shall perform the service of the tent of meeting, and they will bear their guilt. It is an everlasting decree throughout your generations. Among Bani Israel, they, the Levites, shall have no inheritance. For the tithe of Bani Israel, which they must set aside to Adonai as a teruma gift, I gave to the Levites as inheritance. Therefore I told them, among Bani Israel they shall have no inheritance. Adonai spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the Levites and say to them, When you take the tithe from Bani Israel, which I gave you from them for your inheritance, set aside from it the teruma gift of Adonai, a tithe of the tithe. Your teruma gift will be considered the same as a grain from the granary, and wine and oil of fully ripened fruit from the cistern. So must you, too, set aside the teruma gift of Adonai from all your tithes, which you take from Bani Israel. Give from them the teruma gift of Adonai to Aaron the Kohen. From all your gifts you must set aside all of the teruma gifts of Adonai, from each thing its finest part, the part that is consecrated, the part that is to be consecrated. Say to them, when you set aside the finest part of it, it will be considered for the Levites like the produce of the granary and the produce of the cistern. You may consume it anywhere, you and your household, since it is a reward for your service in the tent of meeting. You will not bear a sin because of it when you separate its best part, but sacred things of Bani Israel you must not profane, and you will not die.